This is emotion art. A place to put down all the bags, set down the weapons, to strip off all the pieces of armor and the sweaty, dirty clothes, to take off all the masks, to let down the hair, and just be yourself, myself, to become for a time simply the emotions, the curiosity, whoever we are under all the stories, always interesting, always fun, always healing. It's scary for most people to be vulnerable, but when you open everything up to the light and to the air, healing happens, joy happens. Humans are emotion, and art is creation. Emotion art. If you listen to these conversations regularly, thank you. And you're welcome. And just so you know, starting next week, we're going to adjust our release schedule to every other week. The search for balance in all things continues. And we have a couple other projects that sound like a lot of fun, and we want to put a little bit of our energy that way and see what comes out. Shout out to Buddy Anderson on audio and music. Check out his music on Spotify at From Another Mista. Thanks for sharing your art, buddy. And thank you to Mary from episode 9, who co-hosted this conversation with me. Thank you for letting me co-host with you, Mary. I enjoyed doing this with you, and I really look forward to doing it again. So, this is a conversation that Mary and I had with Ike, our 16-year-old son, brother, roommate, friend, artist, moral police. Okay, that used to be a thing. Ike may have only been around for 16 years so far, but his EQ puts him closer to 40 or 50. And yes, I'm biased. I like this kid a lot. And I particularly like having conversations with him. Enjoy.
Welcome to Emotion Art.
Emotion art, where we sit down and make art
with our emotion. Emotion art.
Creative energy moving outward in conscious expression of feeling.
Emotion art.
Emotion art.
Emotion art.
Emotion because we are literally made of emotion. Art because everything we do wants to be art. Emotion art. Feels.
Emotion art. It's all beautiful. Emotion art. Emotion art.
A space for emotional art. Creative energy moving outward in conscious expression.
Emotion art.
An emotion art gallery.
This is emotion art.
You're welcome.
Thus I'll bless you while I live. I will lift up my hands in your name. My soul shall be satisfied. As with marrow and fatness, my mouth shall praise you.
Fatness?
Yeah, there's a lot of fat people, I guess, in Bible times.
What the heck?
I wish I would have started recording when you first started
Me too,
quoting
actually.
that El Bible.
So,
But
yeah.
I did get the last half.
Psalm 63.
Oh, we are recording now?
Accurate.
Well, a warning would have been nice.
Wait, I can restart.
Sheesh.
Ready?
What if I would have disclosed my biggest secret of all time?
Let's find out. What is it?
I can't tell you right now.
Dang. Oh, this is so much better. Seriously, it's worth adjusting.
It's worth adjusting?
Yeah.
I don't know.
If you're a guy.
If I'm doing it.
Oh my God.
What? Yeah, I know. I'm saying your microphone and stuff.
God. Michael
Son.
Benjamin
Johnson.
McGregor.
Carver. Sorry.
We have a witch in our midst.
How's everyone feel?
Comfy and cozy.
I think we're ready.
Me too.
Okay, so, well, anyways, you guys made me come here, so here I am.
That's true.
We did.
Yeah.
Forcefully.
Coerced me, actually.
Whoa.
We have plans for you.
I called CPS already, but
Oh, I think we'll be able to get this done
Oh, boy.
in time.
for legal reasons, if any government officials are listening to this, this is not...
I literally work for the government.
I need to get a lawyer.
Not against your will.
You do need to get a lawyer. What if I was just like, help, help?
Well, you're in luck.
Well, then
I'm
I don't
also
wanna
a
be
lawyer.
here.
that would be hilarious. But you are here.
I'm surprised we don't
Yeah.
have a lawyer friend in our entire group of friends.
Because lawyers are not fun.
What,
They're
dude?
kind of downers.
But dude, lawyers are people too. All right.
People are people.
People are people.
Lawyers have a stereotype, probably for a reason, but they don't all fit it.
Yeah, I mean, there's some good ones out there,
Word.
just like doctors.
Yeah.
Hi, Ike.
Hi, Mary.
How are you today?
Hi, Padre. Well, feeling rather under the weather. Woke up today with quite a tickle in my throat.
Uh-oh.
It was not fun. But then I got up and I chugged some water and I chugged some Dayquil and went back in my bed. And I've been in bed and it's 2:30 now, so I'm doing okay. I just gotta drink my tea. I have some tea, by the way, for you guys that aren't sitting in this room with us.
Time to slurp.
I have a question for you.
Okay, what's up?
Do you enjoy being on a stage?
Ooh, this is a great question. This is a great question. I love this question a lot. Do I love being on a stage? Okay. I am an actor. I've done 6 shows. I started in middle school. And I really enjoy it. Sorry, I kicked that thing.
Punish.
You're perfect.
Ooh,
I'm going to punish you anyway.
nobody's perfect, Mary.
All right, well,
Anyways,
Gotta give a guy a
before I was
compliment.
rudely interrupted.
He just corrected you. You still think he's perfect?
yeah, I
Oh.
love him.
Oh.
Okay, acting.
Acting.
No, yeah,
Either one
this
of-
is a great bio.
This is, I don't love anyone.
I never have, and
was
I never
actually-
will.
I was asking you if you like being on stage because you're just like, okay, first thing I want to do is I want to talk to all of you out there who aren't in this room with
Oh,
us.
yeah, exactly. This is my on-stage commentary. But that would be breaking the fourth wall. So that's a big no-no in the whole deal.
Yeah, if you're gonna do something,
Unless
do
you're
it with
doing- unless you're
conviction,
doing it
you know what
well.
I'm saying? Exactly. That's
Unless
like,
you're doing it
yeah,
well.
same brain.
I appreciate that you think like that.
Thank you.
I appreciate that you do like being on stage. It was actually a rhetorical question that was meant to imply you love being on stage.
Yeah, it's like
Freaking
sarcasms.
Love it. I love it a lot.
Freaking.
Freaking. I freaking love it.
I'm glad you know that.
I think you're pretty all right at it. I mean,
You think I'm pretty?
yeah.
I think that you embody the characters in a way that a very few, there are a couple of you guys on that stage that embody in the way you do, but it's not very many. It's so cool.
No, you're incredible, dude. Actually incredible.
You want to know what I do for the performance?
How now, brown cow?
No, I don't do that. I do the whole like Sharpay Evans thing, like ma, you know? Whatever.
No, I don't. Please
Have
keep
you guys,
going.
Have you guys never seen High School Musical?
No,
I don't
dude.
think I have.
I think that's a little younger
For everyone,
than
for
our-
everyone listening out there, these people are a bunch of lunatics.
Thank
Well,
you.
you were
Oh my
coerced to be here, so-
gosh.
And then, of course, Dad turning that into praise.
What? I'm
Here we
confused.
go.
I'm confused.
Okay. Before every show,
Mhm.
what I do is I imagine my childhood as this character that I'm about to play. I envelop myself into their memories and their life.
Whoa.
And for some reason, I always imagine like bathing myself, I guess, but
As a child?
as a child, I don't know. But
Like in a bathtub?
yeah, because like this past one I just did, The Beauty and the Beast, I was like a prince, right? And so I was imagining like this nice, really pristine porcelain tub, and
With
the
claw feet?
like yeah, and like there's like beautiful soaps, and I'm like just a little kid, just getting myself scrubbed by some of my servants, and I'm just like imagining like my father taking me out to the town and like having me see all my lowers than me, seeing all my potential future brides and whatnot. I want to live through their childhood to be that character.
You're like going to the foundation.
I was just saying that that's all what their characters made out of, is their memories.
You're adding
True.
depth.
You're not adding depth. You're creating all of it.
You're creating the
Creating
character.
all of what?
Create the entirety of the character. Nothing based on the character is based on what's happening around them currently, but it's what past things have happened to them will make them decide what to do.
That's really interesting. He looks at it, not that he's playing up the character, but that he's creating a character out of a story he heard. Like he doesn't look at it as playing a character, but becoming a character.
Yeah,
Isn't
exactly.
that method acting? Did you make this process up, or did
No,
they teach you
definitely-
acting stuff at school?
Nobody taught me that, but Hollywood actors or whatever will definitely like travel to the character's childhood home or
Mhm.
childhood town. And oh, here's something I want to talk about. A lot of people always talk about how they have this like inner monologue, right?
Mhm.
And it's like a voice talking to you. I don't have like that voice in my head, but it like comes out in words,
What?
Like visual,
not visual, but like
feeling.
I'm imagining my brain reading it and recognizing the words. I know this is probably not going to make sense to anyone.
Somebody out there is gonna understand.
Somebody
what
out there is
you
going to have the
just
exact same thing and be like, oh my gosh,
said.
yes.
Yeah, it's gonna be like, whoa, him too.
It's like in a comic book, the thought bubbles or like the speech bubbles.
Okay.
But that's like happening. It's not auditory or visual. It's just happening and I'm like absorbing it.
It's like there's a imaginary speech bubble that contains the essence of what it's trying to express.
Yes.
That is complex.
Isn't it?
Yeah, that's really cool.
I think of it as a ticker tape. For some reason, I imagine the stock exchange with a stream of news running across the bottom, and that's
Stream
kind of
of
what.
nudes?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You heard it here
Vulgar
first.
little.
It's a different Wall Street.
Nudes on the NASDAQ.
But it's a endless and infinite commentary on everything that's happening,
Right.
everything that's happening to my senses. But sometimes I feel like I hear it. I never feel like I read, but I still visualize it as a tape. So it's beyond all of the senses.
Oh yeah, I entirely agree. That's
But you see it as a cartoon, like speech or a thought bubble. That's hilarious.
Yeah, kinda,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
We just went full circle back to Charlie Brown.
So what do you, I mean, you're all acting all the time so far.
Yeah.
What do you want? I mean, do you have plans with it?
to like act in the future. I don't know.
Where do you see it going?
I don't know. I feel like it's just something I can enjoy like right now. Getting into it like as an adult, it usually doesn't go anywhere.
Not with that attitude.
No,
Well,
yeah, exactly.
do you think about the future? Like, do you have plans or dreams, or how formed is that inside you?
I feel like I haven't thought about it like deeply enough, and really like only current plan is like if I can't figure anything out, I'll just enlist.
Oh,
I had a visceral reaction to that just now.
a judgment reaction?
No. Like fear.
Here, well, what's gonna happen? That's okay. He was in the Army National
Oh,
Guard.
Your dad has a different brain than I do.
Well, he means I enlisted and I'm still okay.
Oh, I thought he meant like he's fine. Like,
What's that? Who can someone pull up like the percentage of soldiers that die or whatever?
I'm
Like
not worried about
50,
I'm not
about
worried about your
50%.
dad.
About
No.
75%.
You guys are assuming.
Yes, Mary.
My fear wasn't connected to you dying.
Like, wait, what was it?
Army guy? No, I mean I could totally see you in there. I could see you doing a lot of things, dude.
Yeah.
You're versatile. You literally can do anything.
You sounded like Shakira. Try anything. I don't know. All right.
Ooh, would you ever do voice acting? Because that has been a dream of mine since I was a child.
Voice acting. You'd be a great voice actor. I feel like my voice
I
is
feel like
not
you would
unique
too.
enough.
What?
Nah, my voice isn't unique enough. Like, what character embodies this voice?
Well, like when we talk, we'll like talk in accents together. So that's what I mean.
That's
It's
true.
like-
That's true. That's true.
Have you seen the documentary Jim and Andy?
No.
Please watch it. It answers that fear that something about me is not unique enough.
Ooh, I need to rewatch it.
We watched it twice in a row.
I know, and I fell asleep.
And it's a documentary on the making of what is the movie called? Man on the Moon.
Man on the Moon. Yep.
So it's the backstory, and it's spooky. It's
Jim Carrey's a comedic
incredible,
genius.
but it really tells the story of Jim Carrey and how he became who he is.
Yeah.
It is. It's so raw. It's unlike any other documentary I've ever seen. But the whole point of it is he realized people just wanted originality. They just wanted him to be him to be his weird, goofy ass self. And number two, people wanted themselves to feel free from trouble, like carefree, like who cares? Devil may care. And so he developed this whole character that's just complete asshole, flippant, doesn't care about anything
Was
except.
that the Andy Zimmerman or whatever?
Well, it's Jim Carrey's character, but it's also the same type of character that Andy Kaufman was.
Andy Kaufman, right?
I do need to rewatch it because I watched the beginning with you guys, but I was very sleepy that day. So I think I like got all warm and cozy and fell asleep.
You got to follow close.
Yeah, exactly.
I saw like half of that movie.
Were you in the living room that day too?
I was.
The kittens were sleeping on me, and then I was like,
Oh, I
well,
was so deep.
I live here now. But the movie, when Jim Carrey was doing things and like people were getting pissed off, he legitimately caused people to want to fist fight him and attempt to fist fight him. It was intense.
He got messy.
It's part of the artistic process, right? Kind of like you were talking about.
His, anyway.
And yeah, his artistic
Not
process.
everyone's as messy as that boy got.
I guess I don't understand how people thought he was being an asshole, because I feel like to be an asshole is like to intentionally want to hurt.
Was this like when the directors like hated him because he was so exactly like Andy Kaufman?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he turned into a different person. He embodied Andy Kaufman, who his art came through this complete rawness, but he had some very distinct traumas that came out through that rawness. He was a difficult person to be around from what I saw in that documentary.
Mm-hmm.
I've not yet seen Man on the Moon, and I look forward to seeing it. I just have
to.
to get enough people to want to see it to actually get some screen time.
You can watch it by yourself.
To get some screen time.
Yeah, with what time?
Right.
So, somebody who didn't know you asked you who you are. What would you say?
It was loaded.
Well, everything's loaded.
Like a baked potato.
Life is loaded.
Yeah.
I'm just curious what you'd say.
Who are you?
Okay, I'm gonna imagine it. I'm gonna imagine it not in that way. I'm gonna imagine it in a way.
Perfect.
I'm getting interviewed, right?
Mm-hmm.
And these people don't know me,
Mm-hmm.
and they're asking, "What are you like?" That's what I'm doing.
So, Ike, tell us a little bit about yourself. Who are you?
What are you like?
Well, Tom and Trisha, I'm like a nice guy, I think.
Aw.
Even though I'm giving my dad a lot of trouble, but that's because it's really funny and makes my dopamine skyrocket.
Elevated over here, folks.
Nobody's elevated. It's against the law.
So, you're a nice guy.
And I like to be happy. And actually, we were just learning about this in my healthy relationships class the other day. It's the personality types. And there was the DISC. You probably know about that because you're like
The disc?
the DISC personality type things. I don't know. Don't you like work
I've
with
taken that.
people?
I do work with people, but you learn something new every day, so hit me with it.
So the D is like the leaders, like got to get stuff done, and they're very assertive and whatever. And the S is the really kind and like the exact opposite. They're really kind and like submissive. Like, I want to help you. I just want to be your friend. I just want to be nice to you, and I'll be loyal to you. And the C is like the really logical. Like, I have to get this done at this time.
Like rigid.
Yeah. They described it in animals. It was like the D is the lion, the S is the golden retriever, the C is the beaver, and then I, the last one, is the otter, the one that likes to just have fun. And it's just like otter just like wants to have fun and wants to be laid back and likes to like avoid conflict and really doesn't think things through. Apparently, they like when they're pushed to conflict, they like do verbal attacks on the other person. Like, and then also everyone's like a really big, like a mix of this, but I feel like I'm like very much that I character. I feel like the teacher that was teaching us that really did not like that one the least.
Well,
That sounds like the best one to me, too.
Like,
Sweet, but
like
reckless.
the other ones like the lions would be like the D's would be like the political leaders and like the big shots, and then the beavers would be like the doctors or whatever. The C's would be like the doctors or the people who like get stuff right. The golden retrievers are just like the people that like are gonna give everyone like strength and be like nice to them, and they'd be like the child care and the hospitality workers. And then the I is like
the
a poet.
freeloader. I'm kidding.
Yeah, you like no, yeah, really. Actually, she's like more prone to peer pressure, drug abuse, always manipulative and lying,
Wow.
and like they enjoy having fun. That's the only good trait I can remember.
I think that otters would be really offended by that.
I was,
that character.
I was, but I pretended like I wasn't. I threw it off as like, oh my gosh, this is hilarious that she hates this one the most. And then I was like, why is this one the worst one?
Why do any of them have to be bad or good? Why can't they
Right.
just be what is?
Well, they are as interpreted by the person speaking, and she probably had a relationship that burned her with somebody who was like that.
It's interesting that teachers are shaping and sculpting these young minds and are able to just give out subjective information.
Well, I mean, how could they not?
They're human.
I don't know. I feel like you can, I mean, yeah, you can't be perfect. You can't be objective all the time, but I feel like you could work really
Right.
hard to be mindful about it so that then the young minds that you're teaching don't walk away believing the same thing you're saying.
And probably some
necessarily.
people work a lot harder than others.
Yeah, totally.
Right.
We definitely have a school system that it could be better.
Well, I think it's cool that you have you said healthy relationships class.
Yeah, it's called healthy relationships. And she's like,
I mean, we
this
didn't have
teacher-
anything like that growing up.
Yeah, this teacher's a really great teacher, by the way. Amazing teacher. she really like knows how to teach us well.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I also probably just like leaned into this too hard because I really like, wow, this is like my personality. I like labeled myself immediately, you know.
What about, you can say somebody just is around for the fun, or you could be like, they also want other people to have fun, which is a type of leadership, really, you know?
A leadership with high eyes, and of course I'm biased, but it's the best kind of leader.
Right, of course.
Did they teach you about boundaries in that class?
Yeah. Cool. They also taught us about boundaries all through 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th grade.
They did? Gosh, that's so cool.
Yeah, I know, isn't it? We had sex ed 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th grade.
They taught boundaries through sex ed?
Yeah. Boundaries is a part of health because like mental health is like half of your health.
Cool, yeah.
How would you sum up your understanding of the term boundaries from your teaching education? Yes.
Like an action someone could do to you that you prefer that they didn't, and that you trust them to like not do. I feel like that's the simplest way I can describe a boundary. It's not very intuitive, but that's exactly what I think it is.
Okay.
Is something that
an action that you don't want someone to do. Okay.
Like if you have a boundary, I know it's not like a very complex answer.
No. I'm just trying to understand. I'm trying to understand that, like what the emotional image is that the words are about.
Something someone else is doing to you, like say you value honesty in your relationship, and you're like, hey, like I prefer for you to be honest with me, and this person like is constantly breaking their honesty. I feel like that would be them also breaking that boundary because that's something they're doing.
So that's an example of a broken boundary. So in that case, the boundary feels like it is a way that you want to be treated by somebody else.
Yeah.
And so when the person breaks it, okay.
Yeah, see, very simple.
It's not, I'm still not fully wrapping my mind around what you're saying. So, but that's okay.
Like the mom says, hey, don't take cookies from that jar. And the kid takes cookies from the jar. And the mom's like, what the heck? You just broke that boundary. I didn't want you
That's
to
like a rule, though.
I just had the same thought.
Oh my gosh.
Well, no, I'm not trying to frustrate you. I'm actually trying to understand something that I cannot quite understand. Okay. Because I feel like now I'm starting to feel like you're describing rules instead of boundaries. Like what I see as a personal boundary is it is something that I'm not willing to do or I'm not willing to experience. And so
I was thinking
a boundary doesn't have anything to do with this person. It just has to do with me. That's my perspective. Yeah. But I'm not trying to understand my perspective. I'm trying to understand kind of a nutshell of what these classes teach. Because everyone's going to have different words. Doesn't mean it's wrong. It could be completely different and still not be wrong. Everyone has different words. But I'm not trying to frustrate you, just trying to understand.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Oh, no, I forgot what I was saying.
Okay. So I have another question for you then.
Okay.
Because I know who you are.
Do you?
I've watched you grow up. I don't know who you are from the inside. I'm not inside your control center experiencing all your screens and analytics.
You know who I am. I get you.
But I've seen you grow up. I know how cool you are. How about that?
So cool guy.
You're a cool guy.
Anyways.
But I don't know what it was like for you to experience all of the cycles that brought you to where you are. So what I'm curious about is
a brief summary of Isaac Jacob Avery.
That's your middle name, Jacob.
What's your earliest memory?
My earliest memory? Yeah. I know it off the top of my head. My earliest memory, there's two. One of them is a dream. Sitting by, in our old house, we had that wood stove. It's like pitch black except for the wood stove. And just like I was like sitting like next to it or like laying down next to it. And I can just see the like red orange hearth. That's the first one. And then the second one is this really creepy dream I had about, that corner where the farmer's market's on?
Mm-hmm.
Where like you first go in. So imagine you go in, walk like 300 feet, and then turn around. And that's where you're looking. And I was imagining I was dreaming it was really gray. And I was like sitting on like standing on a gallows, and there was like a crowd in front of me. And those are my two earliest memories.
Whoa. Do you know any concept of how old you were?
Maybe like 3.
Were you on the gallows?
Yeah.
Whoa, dude.
Wow.
Yeah, I was standing on the gallows, and there was like 2 guys next to me that were like really big.
Any idea where that dream came from?
No, literally no clue. That's the only thing, because that's like the only thing I remember about that
But it
life.
felt scary.
It didn't feel scary. This is something interesting. I feel like a lot of people are going to relate to this too. Sometimes like the dreams you have, they don't feel scary or creepy or anything. It's just like unsettling in some kind of way that is somehow a little bit comfortable. Thinking back on that dream, it's unsettling, definitely, because like the people were also really weird looking. They had like animals' faces for faces.
Wow.
It was really not a cool sight. Like if I was actually in that scenario, of course I'd be like shitting my pants,
Yeah.
pooping my pants.
We allow cussing on this show.
Okay, cool.
I mean, kind of anything. Like I've never made a rule yet.
Nice, great.
Do you have any
Back to
rules? Do you have any rules we should know about, Mary?
Yeah, I'll tell you at midnight.
Okay.
What if I break any?
Off to the gallows.
Off to
for
the
you.
gallows, yeah.
So you have one memory that's warm and cozy in front of a fire.
Another one, it's not that it's scary. It's like when I was in the dream and imagining it, it felt like something important.
Okay.
It felt like I'm sitting here and I'm on these gallows and there's the rope right there. And there's this big crowd in front of me and it's overcast and gray and it's not the farmer's market. It's just a street corner. And I'm standing there and it's just like, I'm important. I was thinking to myself, I'm important enough that I am here with all these people in front of me, that I'm going to do something and I am important. And then the other one is just like a random, like I'm sitting next to the fire.
Chestnuts roasting
On an open fire. Jack Frost. If any of you didn't know, I'm actually also a very talented singer. Yuletide carols. Okay, I'm sorry. Anyways, that's what I'd say. That dream is probably going to be number 1 earliest memory for me.
Okay.
Would you say that you were a joyful child?
I'd say that I was a joyful child that also had made rules for myself and was a little bit afraid.
Okay.
I was afraid that I'd be like a bad person.
Okay.
And that I'd like disappoint mom or dad, or like someone would hate me, you know. I still very much have that mindset, but I'm able to talk about it and not just be like, no, I was perfect. Like I was very much a perfectionist child, I'd say.
Okay.
In my mind, at least I was. I know I probably.
Yeah.
I always did it well.
Yeah.
I always had to do it well, and I didn't do it wrong.
That was just the way you preferred to do things, or
Is
or
correct.
That part of the fear?
Yeah, no, I was afraid to do it wrong. I still am. I still am very.
Where do you think
afraid.
that came from? What, from the gut, with no thought for?
Where did that come from?
You're being. I'm your dad.
Right.
And I'm your dad's dad. Sorry, go ahead, Michael.
We're the best.
From your gut.
Yeah, I'm just saying you're not going to hurt my feelings. Like
I understand.
I'm really aware. Oh my god,
it was not you though.
Oh really? I would have assumed it was. That's what I was fishing for.
I know that's what you're fishing for.
Okay.
You're like, Dad, you inset all those principles on me. You're such a
You know
suffering
what?
child.
I like catching things, and if you don't fish for something, it's really hard to catch anything. I don't care what I catch, though.
You definitely put a lot of stuff in my head. You know, you definitely morphed and molded my life a lot, but not in that way. That
As
was
a parent does.
That
Intentionally
was-
or unintentionally.
I think that was for my brothers. I felt like I had to do it right, or else something would happen to them. I felt like I needed to parent them. I felt like I needed to control them.
Oh, because you were the oldest.
Did
I
you
felt-
feel like their protector?
Yes, I very much felt like that. I would have, at any age, and now I would have fist fought anyone for my brothers. I made sure that they knew that.
Yeah.
If you ask any of them, I was like, is that guy like, what's that guy talking about? He's like,
This
do you
actually
need me to step
this
over
is
there?
a real life thing that happened.
I never actually beat anyone up, but because like they never got in trouble. with like any of the other kids because we always hung out with each other.
Yeah.
And they all just fought each other, and I didn't have to step in.
I was the boys fought each other.
We all fought each other.
Yeah, I was going
All
to
the
say
time.
I'm the youngest, and so I think some of my siblings felt the need to protect me too. My brother, I was going to say, he would threaten to beat people up, but then he would also beat me up. So it's
No, that's exactly
dude,
it. That's exactly
so
it.
crazy that's like.
That sound reminds me of a line from your play.
Oh no.
Oh, what is it?
Oh, it wasn't you though.
It was Gaston.
Gaston.
What did he say?
Oh crap! Am I crossing wires here?
No.
Somebody said nobody gets to hurt. Nobody gets. Oh, it's from Wednesday. No,
that's
nobody gets
nothing
to
like
beat
Beauty and
him.
the Beast.
Yeah, no, but it made, dude. This is my emotional wires
I
crossing.
got you. It's okay. Continue.
Because it reminded me of that.
Nobody gets to.
Nobody gets to beat my brother up but me.
Right.
Yeah. Wow.
Nice.
I had to get to that one the long way.
You got there though.
A long way. It's okay.
Sheesh.
Yeah. Anyways, I knew that I loved my brothers forever, and there were points in my life where I was like, oh my gosh, he's annoying the literal fuck out of me.
And there will be more points
And
in your
there
life.
are,
of that.
have been, and will be more.
Yeah.
And I'm aware of this.
Mm-hmm.
But then I'm always like, I would do anything for this kid, even if he messed up like so bad. I would want to be on his side.
I will say, sorry, Michael.
I forgive you.
From the outside, I'm from the outside.
Yes, you are. The outsiders.
You
Stay cold,
are a
boy.
very kind older brother.
Thank you.
The way that your other brothers look up to you is really sweet to watch.
You missed 10-year-old me.
Were you not nice?
I was just a lot more controlling of them.
You've evolved, dude. That's
I
what
have
we
evolved. Anyways, continue.
do. Anyway,
Continue.
I think it's really sweet to see because having 4 younger brothers would be a lot.
Yeah.
And I don't ever see you. I mean, I don't live here, but you're never unkind. You know, you seem to have like a sweet quietness in the way you like lead them. That's what I see. Like you're not bossy. You might have, maybe you were before,
I was.
but I don't
I'm
see
not
that now. I see you just
Yeah.
like leading them by example, I guess.
This is something that Dad instilled in me, is to not be bossy to them. Is because I was always so bossy to them, and this is I'm grateful for this, by the way. I was always so bossy to them. I was like, stop doing that. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? Like that's a very common phrase in our household. Why are you doing that?
Mm-hmm.
And Dad is like, I just mind your own business, dude. And I was like,
I really appreciate that perspective because you also learned that bossiness from me because that's how I used to be.
yeah. You told me that I need to live my own life, and I don't need to live theirs.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very helpful. And I definitely disappeared from them
Mhm.
for years. I
Yes.
didn't talk to them. I just let them be.
Yes.
And then they're all who they are right now, and I don't know who they are.
You don't know?
I don't. And
What do you mean by that?
I mean, I missed a part of their life. I was just gone. I just left the house, and I just didn't want to. I just wasn't here.
Does it feel like that's changing?
No.
How do you feel about where you find yourself right now with them?
I wish I was closer to them, but I still love them, and I'm still gonna love them. And it doesn't matter it doesn't matter what,
The conditions.
it doesn't matter the conditions. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter if they aren't very close to me or kind of distant towards me. I'm always gonna feel the closest connection when I see one of their faces. I'm always gonna think back. It's like going back to the whole like remembering the childhood of the actor. It's always gonna be remembering my childhood.
Mm.
And like being like, oh my gosh, this person, I learned so much from this person.
So the way you describe your brothers sounds a lot to me like you're describing unconditional love.
They're the person. Those 4 are the people I unconditionally. Probably one of the only people I unconditionally love.
Yeah.
That's so sweet.
Do you feel like you see yourself in the same way?
Do I love myself?
Do you see yourself with as much
Unconditionally.
unconditional love as you see your brothers?
That's tough.
Or do you treat yourself that way? I don't know.
I feel like I do. I feel like there are definitely points in my life where I'm saying, oh my gosh, you need to be better. You need to be like better than that, like obviously. But then I also have times where I'm able to sit with myself and be like there have been times when I've been in such a dark, terrible place. And it's like, 1 a.m. and I'm not asleep or whatever. And I'm just like sitting in a mirror. And I'm like, I look up to myself and I could like stare in my eyes. And I just like over and over told myself, I love you.
Aw.
And I just had to do that so that I could fix myself. And I've done that multiple times. Like sat and just stared in the mirror crying, like being like, God, you're so beautiful.
I'm going to steal that from you.
Do you,
I'm going to try that.
how old were you when you first remember kind of just starting to do something like that? Like starting to step into that type of self-healing?
When I was 8 years old, I looked in this mirror. It's the mirror that you have that's in Mom's room.
Yeah.
You know what mirror I'm talking about.
Looks like it's made out of beechwood.
I looked in that mirror and I saw myself and I was looking at my features and I was like, it's interesting to see this because I'm not looking at someone else. I'm looking at the flesh that embodies this soul. And I was like, I may not like it all the time. I may not like what I do all the time, but I am content and I'm happy.
Okay. That is a huge dose of self-awareness for an 8-year-old. Can you break your life up into stages? Like stages of feeling? Okay. So don't really remember a whole lot. 0 to 6. Don't remember too much. 6 to 8, I felt very free. I felt like a very free person. And I was like, kind of how I want to be. And I was thinking to like
myself.
how you want to be now?
How I want to be now. I was thinking to myself, I just need to let this happen. And then 8 to about 12-ish, I'm thinking to myself, I need to develop. I need to experience. I guess I also carry that through now, but it was a different thing. It was more like, I need to develop myself and develop my brain and learn. I want to learn. 8 to 12. And
so it sounds like, was it partially a desire to learn and partially a fear that you weren't good enough, that you needed to get better? Or
at this point, I didn't feel like I was comparing myself to anyone. And at any point in my life when I needed to felt like I needed to be better, it was when I was comparing myself.
You just felt like you needed to do better.
To something else. I was just thinking in my brain, I need to learn.
Okay.
I need to, because I want to be good. It's not that I need to be better than the X better than Y, but I want to be good.
So far, all the conditions, I mean, this is all in the same house.
Right. All in the same house.
When you were 6, your memories sort of come online. When you're 8, but 6 to 8, it feels very free. When you're 8, you start to say, okay, I need to start getting my shit together.
But I wouldn't even say, like, I need to get my shit together. It's just like, I want to, like, know what this life's about.
I see.
I have to learn.
So did it feel like curiosity?
Yes, it did. I felt very much like a curious person.
Okay, so you started becoming curious around 8.
Right.
Okay.
And then I'm like 12 to like 13-ish. I was like,
what did it feel like?
It felt like kind of like impending doom, or probably more like 11 to 13. Felt like impending doom. I was like, something's gonna happen. And then I was right. And then 13 to now, I'm 16 years old. I've shifted into this adult mindset. And in this adult mindset, I've had so many tiny impossible changes that I'm a completely different person than I was when I was 13. Right. But
it's only 3 years ago.
I know.
It's kind of crazy to think about.
I'm insanely different.
Yeah. It's wild how much we develop in between those two ages.
I know.
Anyway,
I'm so much like.
So you had this feeling of impending doom, and then something happened.
Something happened. I remember it very vividly. Actually.
Okay. So then, what happened? What happened to bring on the next phase?
So this is the phase of the whole derealization.
It started when you were around 13.
13.
Okay.
I remember I'm
on
like,
Friday the 13th.
No.
Oh.
It's in autumn. It's in the fall.
Okay.
And I was standing outside, and this is the first time I noticed it. I'm sure it had been happening for a bit at least before, but this is the first time I noticed it. And I was standing outside my school. I'm in middle school right now. And I was standing outside and I was looking at the leaves falling. And I was like, I was thinking like, none of this is tangible. I can't prove any of this. I can't fully prove to myself, to my emotions, yes, all of this is completely here. And then I'm going to do a couple tiny micro ones from the 13 to 16. Is the fear, a lot of like fear. Probably 13 to 15 is extreme fear. And then like 15 or 14, actually, probably around 14 and a half, I was like, I faced it. And I was like, I have to break this. I have to fix this. And so that's when stuff really started to be like going bad. I like started to get like, I started to be like, something's wrong with me. I like got like depressed or whatever for that little bit. Also think it's really gross that I was prescribed Prozac so fast. Like I didn't need that. I mean, I remember you saying it felt helpful to you at the time. Yeah.
Did it provide any benefit in hindsight or? No.
It just numbed me more and just like sped up the numbing of the behind the eyes. Like,
how long did you take it for?
I was on it for a couple months. Okay. I think it was like 4 months.
Okay. And it felt like it sped everything up?
Yeah. Those 4 months felt like 2 weeks, maybe. And
like it gave you a feeling of losing time? Like time was going by that you were not conscious of? It sped up the
feeling of losing time.
Oh, because you already had that.
When you have the derealization, it's called DPDR, depersonalization, derealization. It's also called dissociation. There's a whole other part of it is dissociation. Is you go into like these long periods of time where you are just going through the motions and you're not thinking about anything. And it's like obviously everyone's like, well, I go through the motions the whole day, right? But it's not like you're just like doing your schedule. But it's that you're not there.
You're actually checked out.
You're completely checked out. I've had whole like half years of my life that I was just like, I didn't even think a single time. It didn't even feel like any amount of time. Like this 13 to 16 has not felt anything close to what 3 years should be.
And you said you felt like Prozac actually exacerbated that.
Prozac speeded that up just for those 4 months.
Okay.
So the 13 to 14-ish was like the fear. I was like, oh my God, this is bad. I need to like, what's going on? And then I was like trying to figure it out. And then the 15 to 16 is I'm trying to help it. I was trying to like be like, okay, how am I going to be able to be happy? How am I going to be able, because if you're not living your life, you're not happy with living it, right? The only time that you're actually present is when you're alone and you're just sitting there like, what did I do all day? What have I done all month? What have I done all summer? Where have I been?
Which, with what you were describing of your personality of when you were 8, starting to be like, I need to, start learning all this stuff out of curiosity. And then you said that's still with you today.
Right. I still want to learn.
And so now you're sitting in this place where you're losing time, not knowing what's going on, and you're feeling like you're not doing this learning thing that you really want to be doing. That's what I'm hearing. Does that feel?
No, that feels accurate.
Yeah.
I still very much want to be a curious person, but it's so much more difficult now that everything is just, I'm losing everything.
So you feel like you're still experiencing derealization?
I'm constantly experiencing derealization. There hasn't been a time since I was like a little, like it's like 11, like 12, where I've been for more than like a minute, totally present in here. The only difference now versus when it was really bad is now I'm able to tell myself that it's going to be okay, and this is something I can work with, and this is something I can do, and it's helpful for some things. It's like if you wanted to like talk to someone you don't really like, you can just like talk to them, and you don't really need to think about it. Or if it goes also into acting. Like if you want to act, then if there's like nothing really there, you can just put whatever you want there. It's definitely helpful in some ways, but it also is very like depressing. I don't know. It's just something about it is so like spiraling into infinite darkness.
And in all of that, you're talking about the actual derealization.
Yes,
it can be very helpful in times for acting and stuff, but then it has this really dark element.
It can be helpful for some few things, but for most things, it just makes it harder.
Yeah,
and I feel like the reason that I've tried numerous times proving to myself that this is just something that like everyone like is dealing with, but the reason I know that it's not is because people would talk about it.
Yes.
There was this one night when I was sitting outside and like I was trying to talk to you guys about it, and you're just comparing it to like times when you've been, and I'm just like, it's so different than that.
Yeah. Doing the natural apparent thing where it's like, oh, I understand exactly what that's like, and here's how you fix it.
It was so. Oof. It was terrible.
Yeah, I remember the day that I came awake to what a toxic communication style that was for somebody that is trying to talk about something that hurts inside them, and then you're telling them how to fix it. I never knew before that. That was where I learned. Don't stop trying to fix it. I've learned many things from you when you're just finally come to the end of your rope and you're like, Dad, I don't even want to talk to you right now.
No, there have definitely been days when I'm like, I'll like just like talk to whoever. I'll be like, oh my God, my dad is being a total dick right now.
And I've appreciated that mirror.
Yeah, because you get some sick pleasure out of it.
No, I appreciate being able to see that's how it looks from your eyes.
Yeah.
That's the mirror.
You're a mirror.
Accurate.
Mirrors are interesting.
I mean, thank you.
Anyways, mirrors are interesting things.
They are.
I really like mirrors. I think mirrors are cool.
Are we talking about literal mirrors or still
literal
metaphorical mirrors?
Not talking about metaphors right now. I literally love mirrors. Like, not just because like, oh, I love how I look.
Oh.
But also because I'm able to see how my face like reacts to something. And it's like, ooh, this is interesting.
Why is it interesting to see how your face reacts to something?
I don't know, because I feel like I always like imagine nothing. I always imagine you guys are just like talking to my eyes.
Oh.
You know?
You're imagining what
I know I have a face right now, and you guys are totally like it's really interesting to try to imagine what my face is looking like right now while doing this whole interview. Because I'm imagining like, oh, he's like smiling and making that weird face that he's doing right now. His hair's covering his eyes.
I've been thinking about your hair covering your eyes for
quite
a few minutes now.
To see me,
because
I don't think that they'd understand. All right.
Yeah.
Everything's made to be broken.
Oh my God, I love that song.
I want you to know who I am. Yep.
Nailed it.
Word.
When we sat down and we started talking, and I was like, wow, I didn't realize how long his hair is in front of his eyes. And then I was like, I wonder if he likes like there being an obstruction in his vision. Like, I wonder if you just like that, or
it's mostly because I don't like my forehead exposed.
Oh, okay.
And it looks bad if I just have like a bowl cut right there. So it's. I mean, I just get used to the hair in the eyes. And I don't know. I guess
you
I
probably
guess
don't realize it.
It's kind of nice to like have something to like kind of like dampen it. Like light's not so bright, you know. What
I have a theory.
Okay.
I wonder if a lot of the things you do are for the sense of being alive that they give you. Anything that triggers your sensories, like hair in your eyes or mirrors or standing in front of a mirror.
Very much.
Or
very much.
Preening or looking in the mirror, or that all of these things are all touch points. There are all sensory points.
Oh yeah, totally.
For you to feel something that at least approaches proof that you exist.
This I feel like is very accurate, and I just didn't I wasn't really thinking about it when you were first saying that, but this is very much accurate. and this is also like while I've been doing sports, like in these couple of years I've been doing sports, it's for that sense of like adrenaline of like, oh my gosh, I'm alive. It's like I'm doing this and it's alive, it's living.
What about performing?
Performing is also very much the same thing. Is I'm up on that stage and everyone's watching me and I'm alive.
Yeah, dude.
And this is what I was meant to do. And also the whole performing thing in my head, I'm also tying that back to the Gallows. Is I'm not there. In that dream, I wasn't there because I did some terrible thing. I wasn't there because I did some terrible thing. I was there because I am a performer and I'm important. And I realized that in this interview, a lot of the stuff I've said sounds very narcissistic. And I know some might disagree, but I feel like definitely some of it has sounded quite narcissistic. And I don't think I'm a narcissist because I definitely care about other people.
Well, if you were a narcissist, you wouldn't be questioning whether or not you're a narcissist.
Well, right, yeah, obviously. I've definitely questioned many times if I'm a narcissist. And I've been like, am I a narcissist? But no, I don't think...
'Tis the way of the human.
I truly don't think that I'm a narcissist. And I just think that in that dream, in that point in time, something was trying to tell me, or maybe just myself was trying to tell me, that you matter. And you are important. Not like you matter in the whole like we're all unique kind of way, but like
what part do you think the Gallows played?
My dreams are always just unsettling. I don't know.
It just had to be unsettling.
I had like a year spell where the only thing I would dream about was like holes with bugs filled in them.
Ew.
Wow. Dude, your subconscious brought you a dark landscape with gallows in it to give you the message you're going to be fine.
Yes, it totally did.
That is incredible.
You belong
Oh
here.
my goodness. Yeah, no,
I
exactly.
freaking love that.
I've never known how to describe that dream, how it feels in my heart.
Yeah.
Because everyone's always like, that sounds scary. And I'm always like, I mean, yeah, I guess. But
It's like you're like,
it's my subconscious's way of telling me, I care about you. And you matter and you're important.
Wow.
Wow, that's very interesting. Wow, thank you. Thank you for bringing that to my attention.
Thank you.
Good job unpacking that suitcase, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mary.
Nice work.
Well, I need to go to Florida next week, so I might need to pack it back up.
You're going to Florida next week? Oh, I was like, what?
You
That's
just
cool.
got to get a genie lamp and you can go wherever you want.
That'd be so fun.
I go to
Dude,
Europe, dude.
how fun would it be for you to play the genie?
In Aladdin?
Mm-hmm.
That's the play the middle school is doing this year.
Are they? Oh, yeah.
Charlie might get it.
Oh, my gosh.
Charlie, okay, let me talk about Charlie for a little bit. I love this kid.
Hold on. Before we get away, I still have a couple of questions about Derealization.
Okay, come on, keep going.
Then let's get back to Charlie.
Okay.
Yes, let's.
Okay, what have you found that has helped you?
Pinching.
Pinching?
Yeah.
No,
So I
okay.
can show you you're real.
We just talked about sensory stuff. So anything that gives you that sensory jolt or adrenaline jolt or endorphin jolt that says you're alive. But what have you found in practice or in people or in organizations in any way that has been any kind of a help, either in learning or in actually getting relief?
If I stop and notice, it definitely is helpful. If I stop and like count all the little tiny pokies on the pine needle branch, and if I stop and notice and like look at all the clouds in the sky. Very recently, me and Gwen, my girlfriend, went up to Mary's Peak to see the sunrise, and I was sitting there and I was looking at it, and this is a time when I felt very real because I was seeing the raw beauty that I was meant to see, that humans are meant to see. We're meant to be able to look out, see the sunrise, see the whole rainbow on the horizon, and the entirety of the Willamette Valley was overcast, and I saw a sea of low clouds, and everything about it was just so gorgeous. And so when I stopped to notice, then that's when I felt real. So that's one of the things that helps me feel real. But it's also hard because you can't always be stopping to notice.
Yeah, I was going to say, with the pace of life that you live,
you can't.
Do you have a system? Like, how do you actually do
Slow
that?
down, yeah.
How do you build that into your days? Like, do you do that regularly?
Before I answer, I'm gonna remember that. Mary, you had something you were gonna say.
I was just going to say, what a beautiful thought as a human to see something beautiful and think, I was meant to see this.
I was.
I think that's beautiful. Yeah. Anyway, that was it.
If you might want to move, just put just a little bit between your chair and your mic.
Anyways. Yeah, so a system for noticing that.
How do you do it? Apart from you went to Mary's Peak, and apart from when the moments come, do you actually do this thing that seems to be the most helpful to you on a regular basis?
No, I do not.
Okay.
I do it when I notice it.
Why don't you do it?
Like on a regular basis?
Yes. What is stopping you? If it's helpful.
As important as it is, it's not important. In like everything I have to do in a day, it's not something I think about. And if I get into a place where I'm like really like depressed or really like something's wrong, then I'll think, have you stopped to notice? And so I'll stop and notice, and I'll think it's going to be okay. And I just go on with my day, and it's hard to think about.
So it's not that you think about it but don't do it. The reason you don't do it regularly is because you simply just don't, it doesn't occur to you.
No, it doesn't.
Okay. Have you thought about or played around with trying to figure out some sort of a system to remind yourself? Or what kind of a schedule would you like ideally?
If it was a schedule, it wouldn't work.
Okay.
That's the whole deal.
Okay.
Is the reason I do it when I remember it is because that's when it needs to be done.
Okay.
If I did it all the time, it just wouldn't work.
Okay. I guess I should ask you, how do you feel about the balance you have in it right now, currently?
I feel like I have a pretty good balance with it right now.
You've mentioned that you haven't really heard about it.
No, nobody really talks about it.
Have you been able to find any professional resources specifically that has understanding about this?
When I was talking to my therapist, she definitely like did research on it. And
but it was the first she'd heard of it.
It wasn't the first she'd heard of it.
I would hope not if she's a therapist.
No, it wasn't the first she'd heard of it.
I'm trying to find out how rare is it? Like how
it's just not common. It was like, I think it was the first one that she ever like had helped.
Okay. But she was able to find, so your therapist was able to find good material to give you these tools. Yes. Oh, and so this is where you got these tools from.
The noticing?
The realization usually comes through childhood neglect or childhood abuse. So I was the first person that she'd worked on that wasn't abused as a child. Right, because obviously I wasn't abused or neglected.
I mean, both the word abuse and neglect are subjective to the user, but yeah.
But to become derealized, it typically takes a lot of
you're talking about
neglect. intense like
acute trauma.
Leaving, yeah.
I gotcha. Okay, yes, you did not experience that.
I did not experience
yes.
that. Yeah. So she definitely found resources for me, and she apparently like holding a journal or whatever was supposed to be helpful, but I tried that, but that never really was helpful for me because it always just felt like it's something I had to do. And when it feels like something I have to do, it was never helpful. It always just became, I'm doing this for this person, not for myself. Because I never feel like I have to do anything I should never have to feel like I have to do anything for myself. I feel like I want to because I care about myself. I feel like a good resource is when if I make someone smile, and that always kind of grounds me. I'm like, wow, I affected this person in a real way, which makes me real, you know?
Mm-hmm. One more question. I'm going to ask a binary question, but you do not have to give me a binary answer.
Do you know about binary?
Like either or, black and white.
Okay.
Yes or no. You've indicated that you're still in some part of a derealization phase. Do you feel like you're still fully in looking for answers, or do you feel like you get it and it's just the process of healing and finding yourself? Because you've somewhat used both language as you've described it.
I'm not
something else altogether.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this is something that I'm ever going to be able to escape, because, and I know obviously hard times, it always seems like there's no way out, but it seems like if I was to fix this, my entire view on life would have to be changed.
Do you feel like you have the power to change? Like that you're capable of it?
I do not feel like I have the power.
Do you feel like humans are capable of changing?
I feel like humans are capable of changing, but I'm just talking about this specific thing.
Sure. But I guess what I'm wondering is, why do you think you're going to be stuck with it forever? Based on what?
It's interesting. It feels like something that's always going to be. It feels like nature. It doesn't feel like oh, like I got this sickness. It feels like nature washed over me.
Are
Washed
you
this over
saying
me.
that it feels like this is just like it feels like a natural state of being for you?
Yes.
Like it doesn't
This
feel...
is very much a natural state of
Okay, hold on then. So you went through this entire traumatic thing and now you're still in it, but are you saying it's no longer traumatic?
No.
At all?
No. I'm not traumatized by this derealization.
But it's still uncomfortable, at least in some ways.
It's always going to be. But it's
So what about the parts that are uncomfortable? So is it possible that there are parts of it that belong, parts of it that are just part of who you are, and maybe it's totally different than anything I could even imagine? And then but what about the uncomfortable parts? So you think that you're going to sit in these uncomfortable head loops for the rest of your life?
I feel like the uncomfortable parts is something that I'm going to be able to push through and fix and help and get coping strategies for.
Gotcha.
But
you're realizing that this is just the way my brain works.
I'm realizing that ever since like whatever nature has washed over me
or injected into your neck.
No, nothing was injected. It felt like that. I'm serious. It felt like a sea. It felt like a sea crashed over. On that day when I was looking out onto the leaves, I felt like all of a sudden the sea crashed over me, and I was like,
"Oh!"
It was so swift for a mental problem. It wasn't a development. It was so. It was
like
swift.
A physical feeling. Like it just happened. The entire thing, physical, mental, emotional, everything.
I mean, obviously it developed and like got worse.
But that was the moment.
But that was when I was like, "Oh my gosh, something changed," and it was intense fear because I didn't know. I didn't know what this was, and now I know, and I'm comfortable where I am, and obviously I wouldn't like to be like this for the rest of my life. I would love it if I was able to go back to being 8 and being like all happy and everything's so clear. But it's something that I feel like I can be very content with living with, and I feel like I can definitely benefit so much from it. But there was definitely a sickness part of it, like a part that was an injury, but now I just have the scar.
Like maybe you came into the awareness a little too emotionally early. Because if it's just who you are, then it can't be an injury to find out who you actually are.
I don't feel like this is... I'm not sure how to explain this.
Okay.
Let me try again. It felt like whatever like when I was a kid, that's how I truly am, right? And that's how I still am in my brain, behind my eyes. I've said that phrase.
When you're a kid, talking about the free joyful. Just right. Free and joyful.
Free and joyful. And also the like 8 to 12-ish part. That part too.
And curious and learning. Yeah. Yes. Okay.
That, and I feel like that is me.
Okay.
I feel like I am that behind my eyes. But something happened and it made everything else around me into something that I can't reach. And even though it sounds like it's not great and it's not like good at all, I've come to learn that it's not something I need to fear.
What do you mean it made everything around you something that you can't reach? What do you mean by reach? Like you can't...
I can't...
Because you can physically touch stuff.
I can't know. Like I can't know that this is...
Okay. So it made everything seem unknowable.
It made everything unknowable.
Yeah, unknowable. Okay, so is that the it that you're talking about when you say, yes, I know what it is now?
Yes, that is it.
Just what it is that everything is unknowable. I'm trying to grossly oversimplify just to see.
I guess if you're trying to oversimplify it, then yes, that would be accurate.
Okay, it's so much bigger and more complex than that. Those are just words.
It obviously everything's more complex than that, but that would definitely work as a simple.
I'm just trying to get a sense of what it feels like. Yeah,
everything is unknowable, but like in an intense and uncertain way. Like everything is chaotic.
Does it also feel like the same feeling to say that the realization is that you are completely alone?
A big part of the derealization is the singularity, the isolation. Is I'm so alone in this. Like when I'm talking to you, it's hard to not feel like I'm talking to an object. I'm like an object and not a person. Because I can't prove that you're not just something that someone made for me to talk to.
Or that you made for you to talk to.
Or that I made, yeah. I can't ever be sure that any of this or any of you or anything that I'm with isn't just minerals
Mm.
in this simulation or whatever.
I really appreciate you chasing that down with me. I feel like I have a much better understanding of.
Good, I'm glad.
Yeah.
I'm very glad because I've never known how to explain it to you because you've
It's
always
a
tried
very
to.
tough thing to explain.
So it's so abstract.
It's very
We're talking about
complicated.
mental loops
Yeah.
of people whose brains are particularly loopy.
Yeah, I know. I got on that loopy juice.
Welcome to it.
Loopy juice.
Yeah.
I mean, I can ask you questions all night, so I don't want to, I want to also give this conversation room to breathe and be what it wants to be.
That's great. I definitely wouldn't mind you asking more questions. I really enjoy you being able to, excuse me,
You're excused.
kill yourself.
Maybe. You never know. You never know.
What did you just say? No, don't repeat it.
No, I didn't say anything.
Typical freaking humor. The typical comment I have to deal with around here.
Yeah.
How many people tell you to kill yourself on a daily basis?
One.
Just me? Okay. All right.
Mary, you look nervous.
Mary,
Do I?
Did that
You
make you
do.
uncomfortable? I meant it as a joke. If it did.
I know you meant it as a joke.
You just don't know. Putting that out there, it's such. There's so many people that it's so real to.
There's certain humor that just doesn't hit with me. You know?
And that's not funny to most people.
Accurate. And it probably shouldn't
It
be
shouldn't
funny
be funny to
any
anyone.
people.
Obviously.
Well,
But I've learned that you
when
can't.
things aren't real, I mean,
Yeah,
you gotta
exactly.
find
I
the
was
humor
about to
where
say-
you can find it. You
I was
know
about to say.
what I mean?
I was about to say this is a concept that I've been thinking a lot about myself with. Is what is death? Death is such a human concept.
Mm-hmm.
People will try to see patterns in the universe, like stars die or whatever. Stars change.
That's what death is. What?
And they shine bright to us even after they're dead.
Right. But I'm also talking about us. Like
Yeah.
we die, but we just change from we breathe in and breathe out to we just don't breathe in and breathe out
Yes.
and we don't move. We change from we can interact with our surroundings to we become our surroundings. And
With-
this is,
Even deeper interaction with our surroundings.
and I feel like
We become our surroundings.
death is such a human concept because we can't fathom it. Our neurotransmitters need us to be alive.
Other people think they need us to be alive as well.
But we don't.
I know.
Are you afraid
That's
of death?
that's what
And I'm not afraid of death, Dad.
Mm.
In all of this I've traveled through, I'm not afraid to die. But I definitely don't like being in pain. But like, who does?
Feel
some
like-
people do.
Sounds like you're someone who's faced death.
Yes, yeah, ego death.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's just as real as any kind of death.
isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, and so I feel like the concept of death to humanity as not only something negative, but also just like something important. It's just a change.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a feelings question.
Okay.
When you think about death, what is the feeling at your core? What is the feeling that you associate with death, or one of them?
I used to feel a lot of resentment and like
Huh?
not comfortable, obviously.
Yeah. It used to be very uncomfortable.
Now the first feeling I feel is I feel comfort when I think about death. I just feel like when the time comes, when I'm old or when I get shot in my car or when I am overdosing on my hotel in my hotel floor.
Is this once you're a rock and roller?
I was literally like, are we?
No,
It's like,
that's not my plan.
don't join like 27 Club, dude.
Does your comfortable relationship with death feel morbid?
No,
Just feels comfortable.
it feels comfortable. I feel like
I guess morbid's subjective.
morbid is very subjective.
Yeah, but morbid has to do with a lot of, innards, like the visceral, it has a certain connotation.
Okay.
I don't
Whereas
want.
what I hear him describing is a home. He feels like Hallmark to him rather than Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, no, it's not
Oh
like
my gosh, that was a really good.
it's
way
not
to
like
describe
I want to die because this life is so bad and I just want to feel something different.
Because it sounds like you're happy to be like you're
I'm-
coming to terms with
I love my life,
Hey, you're a goddamn otter,
but
dude.
I would also
yeah,
I love okay. I also love lying and manipulating others.
narcissist.
I don't see that at all, and I
It's-
guarantee
yeah,
you that
I-
each one of those
I know.
categories
I
is
know.
like
Gallows
you don't
humor.
have to fulfill.
Gallows humor. Oh my
Gallows.
gosh.
That's like a
For
new
real.
type of humor.
Dude, it's the oldest humor in the book. Like, because
Wait,
humans
is that
have
a
been
real term?
It's
Gallows
a real
humor?
term, I
Oh my-
think, or
wait,
maybe I
no,
made it
actually-
up. But
I thought you just made it up
no,
based
Gallows
on
is real
his,
term.
I don't know where I got it from.
Gallows humor is a real term.
based on your dream.
Yeah, I probably got it
The
from
gallows.
like my dad or something. Like that's where I usually get those types.
I've
of
definitely
I
read that
have a
somewhere.
question,
But humans have been suffering for all of history,
and they will continue.
and humor is how they get through it.
Mary, what were you gonna say?
You're not wrong about that, my friend.
This is great. I need to have icon every one of my.
Yeah, seriously.
I'm great.
You're
I
deep
know.
for
No, he's a moderator. He's
16-year-old.
just like,
Hey.
Mary, you're up.
Yeah,
Speaking
no.
stick.
You-
Oh, I like that.
Mary has a
Yeah.
question.
This is like the third time he's done it. It's
Mary has a
great.
question and it's important.
I freaking love it,
Do
and I
you-
like to see how long I put.
Okay, so one type of art that you do is to act
Mhm.
and become a character,
Mhm.
or develop a character, or however you would like to describe it. Do you like to write?
I do like to write. I'm taking this creative writings class, and we like write poetry or stories or whatever. And I definitely enjoy it. I think it's really fun, and it's very like humanizing. I don't really have a whole lot to say about writing, because once again, it's just another intangible human concept. But in my brain, it feels good to like create this character or like portray this idea.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's like we're either creating a character or portraying an idea. You're writing. That's all we're doing.
Yeah,
Try to think of a different example.
I am trying to.
Yeah.
Before you even suggested it, I would love to read some of your writing.
I have my notebook inside.
Cool. We'll rendezvous in
Have
the
you
kitchen.
have you published anything or posted anything, or
No.
do you have a?
I don't feel the need to.
Yeah. Okay.
You like okay.
I'm just writing
If
this
you-
for myself.
Word.
If you were feeling compelled to write, is there a typical? Okay, we are
No.
pausing game.
The sun running high on the sapphire sky, things great and small on the endless round. The cycle of life. I'm
Elton
sick.
John would be so proud of you right
I
now.
wish I could meet that guy.
Me too, dude.
Maybe he'll see this podcast and be like,
We could
gonna drive over
arrange
to-
something. Thank you, sir.
gonna drive over to
yes,
Philomath.
perfect. I will not move a butt muscle. Okay, what I was going to ask you is, do you prefer poetry? Do you prefer prose? Do you prefer short stories? What?
I'm for poetry. I like, and not free verse poetry.
Oh, okay.
No,
So
I
more
like. I'm a stand man. As your dad had been like, it's not poetry if it doesn't rhyme.
I don't know.
Your dad said that to me several times.
Yeah,
So
he's
wait, you
definitely-
like it to rhyme?
I do like it to rhyme. I like when it rhymes because it's like, it's not just like it feels less cringy. Like when I read someone's poetry that doesn't rhyme, it's just like when we walk through our life, wishing that the birds would come down. I'm like, there's no rhythm. It's
Do you like
why would
slam,
you?
slam poetry? Because they don't rhyme, and slam
Yeah.
poetry is fucking powerful.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but
Not into it.
I just
All right,
don't
man.
listen to
All
a
right,
lot of it.
Shakespeare.
All right, whatever.
That's cool.
And I feel like this is the age of free verse slam poetry, and like the age of rhyming poetry is past.
I think people like all of it.
I think there are people that like all of it, but I feel like the movement, the current movement, is towards
Well, slam poetry's been around for a very long time.
like how long? Like 1800s.
I mean, I don't know.
I feel like slam poetry is fairly
I'd
new.
have to
compared to
I'd have to
other poetry.
Google it
You guys are so cute
because we're
because neither of you have any idea, and you're just having this little
speculating.
halfway.
We're doing great.
I'm
So great.
curious if you've ever written a poem about the Gallows dream.
Oh, I
This
actually
is-
haven't.
That
This
question is where all
actually-
of my other questions are
Wow,
stemming from.
this is
Thank
great.
you for asking.
Were you
that.
wondering that too?
No,
Oh.
I am now wanting. I am now.
Ooh, I would
I just
totally
think it'd
write
be
something
so
about
powerful. Yeah.
that. I would love to write something about that.
I would love to read something about that.
Me too. I'm like craving it and it doesn't exist yet, and I don't want, I mean, do what you want.
No,
but, like,
I'm definitely going to be
just
writing
think
about
it'd
that.
be Cool. Yeah.
Do what we want.
No, I know because I'm now interested.
Cool.
Sweet.
Oh, thank
yeah,
you.
I think that'd be beautiful. I think one way to sometimes feel real is to create art.
I agree.
Yeah. So that's why I was like, huh.
Like, I feel like the best way to do it is, like, the best art for me is the theater art.
Yeah.
Like, I like music and I like doing it, but it's just not, it just has been doing it less and less for me. So that's why I'm not as
like listening to music, or what do you mean?
writing music.
Oh,
Well, when you're writing music, when you're playing music, you're channeling your energy and it's amazing. But when you're on stage, you're channeling everybody's energy who's watching you and everybody's energy who's acting with you. And all of it blends into this crazy awesomeness. Yes, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And to your point, Mary, I think with my perspective of art, because I believe that humans are made out of emotions, that literally we are art, and emotions are art, and it's all just this inseparable mash of the same thing looked at from different angles, a prism that's constantly flashing different angles. So what better way to be present, which is the thing that you're after for balance, than to express your emotions through the creation of art?
Exactly. And that's why I do it. That's why I'm an artist.
Beautiful.
have you ever done? Because I know you do the school plays. Have you ever done the local theater?
The Majestic or anything? No, I haven't.
God,
The
I
only
would
reason is
love
'cause
to watch you do more.
the only reason is because I don't have time.
I know. As soon as I said that, I was like, I mean, I know you pretty well, and I know that your burnout rate can get pretty.
3 to 4th class.
Well, yeah.
Yes, Deacon.
Go ahead.
Who's your measer?
I have my fingers crossed.
You have your fingers crossed.
That's that. Now you have your middle finger up.
My middle finger, both my fingers are crossed. What are you talking about?
In this
got
family, in
gaslit.
the circle that we run in here,
Babe, you said
The
you wanted to be
crossed-
gaslighted. Okay, continue.
Right.
the crossed fingers of luck
Okay.
in a conversation indicate that the person with crossed fingers has something to say.
Noted.
Does it?
You guys both know that. Oh my gosh.
What
I
the
feel like-
frick did you want to say?
Well, now I wanted to say that.
Okay.
Say your freaking thing, Dad.
Well, the problem is that now I forgot myself what I wanted to say.
Well, I asked
I'll
him
think
about
about
local
it in a
theater.
second.
We're
I
all
asked him
better
if-
for it.
And
We're
then
all
he
better
said
for it.
he's too busy.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh my gosh.
Harry,
Okay.
why did you do that?
Ike,
Yes.
I just heard you say that you're too busy for local theater.
Right.
I just heard you say that you're too good for. I'm just kidding. Sorry.
This is something that you say a lot when you're talking to your brothers, when you're talking to whatever. It's just like, this is your go-to thing for, I can't do that because I'm too busy.
That's
And
the
yet,
American way, baby.
and yet, I think that you're the only one structuring your life. So I'm wondering, why do you have the story that you're too busy when you're the one that's setting up your busy? So you could easily take one busy out and put another busy in. So
I can just not go to school and do the Majestic. Yeah.
That's a choice.
I can just drop out of high school.
Well, and he's already acting in a school play.
Plays are also difficult.
yeah.
They take
like,
up so much time.
They take up
They
time,
are.
but also not only do they take up time, it's also that they're just, it's hard to be doing a play. Like this past play, I was like, this is the last one I'm going to do because the practices were so fucking horrible because the director just was yelling at us all the time. And I was like, I hate this.
That's weird. Why?
I wonder if
Is that normal?
I mean, yeah.
but I wonder if going to like an actual theater, getting outside of school would be a completely different experience.
I feel like it would. And as soon as
You have
I'm
time.
not
Without
in
you
school
be yelled at by a director.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
would
yeah.
hope
and
you
I'm not,
wouldn't.
I don't have to live this.
Or as soon as you're done with one of your other extracurriculars
Right.
or whatever. Yeah, I got you. Okay.
I also would like to have time in my day to spend time with my girlfriend and my family. And I feel like if I had another thing scheduled like that, I would not have that time.
True.
What were you going to say, Mary?
I think you would be exceptional at ballet.
I
I'm serious.
thought about this so much. I wish
You're
that
so
you guys
tall.
had put me in ballet when I was a kid
Instead of karate.
instead of karate. That was
My
was
brain-
dumb.
My brain was thinking about how they do a lot of Shakespeare plays at the Majestic, and then it went to you being in a Shakespeare play at the Majestic, and then it went to Romeo and Juliet, the ballet done by the American Ballet Academy, maybe. Anyway, and then I was like, oh my gosh, you would be.
I would have been great at ballet. I would have been an amazing ballerina.
Ballerina, yeah.
Oh, I mean,
Still could be.
There's still
No.
time, dude.
It's always time.
You're only 16
yeah. I feel like I wouldn't put my heart into it
until
like
you try
at this
it.
point.
And you're like, oh, I'm so naturally good at this.
Do you
I
think
must
that
keep
you'll
going.
have, even if you don't get the time in this life, you think you'll have an opportunity in another life to learn ballet?
Interesting. Do you think of reincarnation as? I'm flipping this interview on you. Is reincarnation your religious belief system? Do you believe in reincarnation? Do you believe that is the truth?
Yes.
Yes, you do.
But I believe, no.
No?
Yes, I believe, yes, I believe in reincarnation.
Okay.
And I believe that it is a word that is interpreted differently by just about everybody I've ever talked to about it. So I ask a question like that because I'm curious to see how it looks to you.
Okay.
To me, reincarnation, like Aaron Stoll says, I believe in reincarnation because Jesus is reincarnated in when he, or whatever. We get reincarnated when we rise again. So, but he doesn't believe in Hindu reincarnation. Who doesn't believe in Buddhist reincarnation?
Right.
Everyone believes in it differently. But yes, I believe that when you die, that's not the end. It is
I
birth.
believe that it's not the end, but
Yeah.
I guess actually I believe in some kind of reincarnation. But
What do you think
It's-
happens when you die?
I feel like in this life that I'm living right now, when I leave it, I'm gonna go on to something entirely different, and I'm gonna do something or be a part of something that is so different than what I'm doing right now.
So ballet, I just write out.
No, yeah, ballet's not even close to important enough.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, you should feel stupid for talking about it.
Yeah, I know you hated ballet so much, dude. Sorry.
Did you do
Sorry.
ballet?
Sorry, I brought it up.
No,
Yeah.
You did ballet.
Mm-hmm.
Did you smoke cigarettes?
Ballet was my favorite. When I was growing up, that was my favorite form of art. I was really good.
I believe
Like
it.
you were talking about
No,
feeling
you-
like a narcissist because you say you're good at acting, but I was
No,
really
you
good.
seem like you'd be a great ballerina.
Yeah.
Can you
I
peer away?
could jump really high.
Can you
My
peer away?
split leaps were fantastic. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Double
Oh
pirouette.
wow! What does that even
Sometimes a
mean?
triple, but that was very rare. I could do a double on point, but I couldn't do triple on point.
Apparently, ballet is the most painful sport.
Really?
No, yeah, they did a study, and ballet is the most painful sport.
Wow. So you asked if people liked pain earlier.
Yeah, so that's you.
We all freaking choose it our whole lives.
It feels good. In certain,
It feels.
in certain ways, it does. In
It
certain
feels.
ways, it's like worth it.
Mm-hmm.
When I was your age, I was doing ballet, and then I
Yeah.
did start tennis. Those were like the two main things was
Mhm.
ballet and tennis. And ballet was a thing that I could do that made me feel real,
Right.
like you were talking about. It's like, okay, I can feel
Totally.
this pain on my toes,
Yeah.
or my muscles getting stronger because I'm sore from the workout we did in class, all
Right.
that kind of stuff. But yeah, I was just thinking there were never any boys in my ballet class, and I was just thinking, man, it would have been cool because in professional ballet, like pas de deux partners, right?
Yeah.
Like lifting each other and all the
Yeah,
beautiful
they're like
different moves.
a
they
guy and
do.
a girl. Yeah, doing the ballet. Yeah. No, I wish I did ballet.
Well, what I'm hearing is that it's not out of the question.
It's your fault.
Different life.
He's not at the end of his life yet. He still may come to the point where he's like, you know what? I have space for ballet now.
Like I changed my mind.
Boom.
Dad, you asked me if I would do ballet in a different life,
Yeah.
and my whole tangent about
I mean, it's not
But
what I
everything's-
asked, but close.
is exactly what you asked me.
Close enough, I guess.
Okay.
Does your future feel very open to you?
Yeah, it feels like I'm gonna do what the fuck ever I want to do, and or I'll do what the fuck ever I need to do.
How does that feel?
It feels human.
You feel so you're saying you feel like a human.
Yeah, it feels human. Uncertainty feels human.
Oh, that's refreshing and comforting at the same time to hear.
Uncertainty is human,
I know.
It is.
and it also feels human. It's not only like that it is human, because saying something is human is cliche, but the uncertainty of our life and the uncertainty of anything that could possibly happen is so human.
Mhm.
So you can always know if you feel uncertain, that just means you're alive
It
and you're
just
human.
means, yeah, that you are.
And real.
That you're
That's
doing
a
it right.
good reminder. What's big on your mind right now?
This hangnail kind of sucks.
What's hitting your awareness as far as what's going on in the world? What feels important or even known to you?
In the world.
Yeah, in the world. I mean, there's a lot going on.
Well, yeah, there's always a lot going on.
What feels big to you right now in the world around you?
Mm,
Or what are you aware of these days?
let me think about that.
Nothing is a fine answer.
No, nothing is also not my answer.
Oh. Que suerte.
And also, words are intangible. Words
They sure are.
Words is another thing that are mineral surpluses of bodies just created. And the reason that some people like certain words and some people don't like other words is also very human.
Petrichor. That's a word I like.
What does petrichor mean?
The smell after it rains.
Ooh.
That's a word?
Yeah, I just
That's
said
my new favorite word. Immediately my new favorite word.
I'm also a big
Petrichor. How do you
fan.
spell it? How do you spell it?
Petrichor. Petrichor.
Okay, I like the H. Petrichor. I like that a lot.
Mm.
Thank you so much for telling me that, Mary.
And it reminds me of the word crepuscular.
What is that?
All right,
Those-
that sounds like pus.
I just
don't like
pictured
that
a
lot.
mollusk.
Crepuscular is a type of light. Crepuscular rays are the rays that are shining from the sun through clouds, and then the beam that goes to the ground.
Yes,
Those are
I love that. Like when you're
crepuscular.
hiking, you're
I also like
like,
that a lot.
God is real.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
what was
yeah.
so what was your word?
Petrichor.
Petrichor. That's the word. When you described that word, it made me think of that.
Mm-hmm.
The smell.
After
it rains. Wow, Mary, that was very beautiful.
You're welcome.
Sorry that I told you to go back to eating your crayons.
That's okay.
That was kind of rude of me.
Also not politically correct, bruh.
Not even at all. I know. I really need to moderate myself.
One time, speaking of crayons,
Oh no.
I taped a bunch of crayons to a canvas
The red one is the best.
and I tried to blow dry them so they would melt
Oh,
down the canvas,
okay.
and it did not work. Would have been cool art though.
It would have been really cool. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How are you going to try it next to achieve this result you're after?
I think I'm gonna put them in a little pot and just turn it on the stove, and then pour it on the canvas and make art with it that way.
Like in an oil diffuser?
No.
Like a scent?
Like in a pot.
Oh, you mean like on
Like
a
she's
cook
gonna-
stove
she's
in a
gonna
metal
boil
pot?
Yeah.
Oh my
The
gosh.
crayons.
You even said that. Wow.
It's okay. I was saying it so calmly.
Well,
It
I
is-
am imagining some intensely vivid colors and textures, and I'm really looking forward to seeing this when it comes out. So
Mary, you should sell it to the Museum of Natural History.
please let me see it first.
Can I buy it from you?
I like
Mhm.
color, vivid, dramatic
Mhm.
color.
I agree with you.
Because
Dan.
that's what all that life is.
Mm-hmm.
That's what
Is it?
emotion is. Yep.
Are you sure?
And then none of it is what it looks like, because it depends on what prism angle it's at. It's what you see.
That's true.
Everything just changes.
Hmm.
So great.
I'll challenge you on that. Life and emotions is color.
Yeah, color is a different aspect of it.
Right, okay.
The prism rotated, and now I'm looking through a lens that it's all color, and then it rotates, and now it's all emotion again. But it's still the same thing I'm looking through.
Interesting. Okay. Then that was not what I was thinking at all. And I'm going to retract my challenge.
What are you most afraid of?
What am I afraid of?
Most afraid of.
What am I most
I
afraid
like
of?
how he interpreted it as what am
That's
I afraid
true.
of?
Yeah.
Because what am I afraid of?
What? That's the question.
Yeah.
What's...
Whatever it is that is inside that brain, I want to hear it if you want to share it.
The thing I'm probably most afraid of is Christianity being real. Because I'm definitely going to hell. And as I've stated before, I do not enjoy pain. And I do not want to live in eternal pain and suffering. So that's probably what I'm most afraid of is Catholic Christianity being the truth.
Thank you for that clarification, because I was about to ask a question in that loophole. Definitely not all Christians believe in hell by any means.
Obviously, I know. The thing I'm most afraid of is Catholic Christianity being the truth. Because also then, like, everyone's going to hell.
Is there a chance that it is?
Yeah, obviously. There's a 50-50 chance that anything is the truth. I mean, it's not something I'm always thinking about.
Sure.
But, like, if I had to choose something... Because I don't live in fear. I don't live in a state where I'm like, my God, I hope this doesn't happen to me. I mean, I guess I don't want to like embarrass myself, but that's just more like that'd be uncomfortable.
Do you have any plans once you're done with high school?
You asked me that already.
Did I?
Yeah.
Kind of.
I said probably just enlist if I can't figure anything out.
You're right. I was just asking the same question a different way. You're right. Sometimes I do that intentionally. This time it wasn't.
Right?
Is there anything else in your brain that wants to come out?
I was going to talk about Charlie.
Yeah, we were going to talk about Char.
Good recall. All right. What do you have to say about Charlie?
I really like that kid, and I think that he is going to be great.
Mm-hmm.
If any of us do something that changes the world, it would be him.
Wow, that is incredible.
If any of my brothers are listening to this, Charlie is not my favorite brother. Okay.
Who is your favorite?
My favorite brother is Boston. I'm just kidding.
Oh my
No.
gosh.
Boston's just so cute.
Boston is so cute.
I love all of them, and I'm going to tell you guys why I love all of them so much right now. You guys ready?
I'm
I'm
ready.
gonna cry.
Okay. We're going to start with Lucas. I love Lucas so much because Lucas is a teacher. And yeah, I saw your eyes get huge. Lucas is a teacher. When he puts himself out into the world, he's not going to fail. He's going to teach someone all the things that we tried to teach him in such an amazing way that they'll be able to relate to. Lucas is kind and understanding, and he's a teacher. Your eyes are tearing up. Oh my gosh, so cute.
Well, I mean, it's just to hear that language because I just haven't thought of it in that language before, and you're so right.
He's a teacher. Mm-hmm. Charlie is, I've said this before, Charlie's gonna do something great. He's conceptual, he's intelligent, he's also very creative. I think that when Charlie goes out to do his thing, he's gonna like wake up and find himself, and he's gonna be like, I'm gonna motivate everyone I know today. I'm gonna create a good place. Because he wants that. He wants that for everyone. He wants everyone to be happy. He's the people pleaser. But he's going to use the people pleasing to his advantage to help society. He's not going to be submissive people pleaser. He's going to be an assertive people pleaser. He's going to be like, I will fix this for you. Boston he's such a kind soul. I love seeing everything that he does. That when he grows up, everyone who interacts with him is going to say, I wish that I'd spent more time with that man. Boston's going to grow up and he's going to be the light in the conversation. He's funny. He's uplifting and
he's
gentle. And when he has a relationship with someone, he's going to be the relationship where they're like, I should never have lost him. He's beautiful. And I'm going to be astounded at what Sawyer comes out to be because I just no clue. Sawyer is he's so changing. He's such a changing person. I've seen him grow up throughout the years, and he's changed in so many ways. But yeah, I would say Lucas is a teacher. Charlie is a changer. Boston is the kind soul, and Sawyer is the learner. I know that whatever situation Sawyer's in, he's going to adapt.
And being the baby, he doesn't give a shit what anyone thinks.
Right.
Like he has had to learn that everybody has an opinion about him. I'm starting to see his backbone straighten.
Nice.
Good. Yeah.
What are you?
I'd have to have someone else tell me that.
Well, didn't I ask you that question in the beginning?
Yeah, and I had no answer. I don't know who I am. And the only person that's going to be able to tell me who I am is the people around me because they're interpreting who I'm putting myself out to be. I feel like I'm someone who can adapt and someone who can change. And besides that, I'm just minerals, you know?
You're just here.
I'm just here.
You're just mineral water.
You're present.
Yeah.
You see yourself as being present.
Yeah. Mary.
Sup,
Dog.
sup, dog.
What's the thing that was most interesting that I talked about? If there are multiple things, then just like pick one.
I think in the beginning when you were describing how you become a character.
That was
In
interesting.
your acting. Yeah, I thought that was really interesting.
Nice. Dad, what do you think was the most interesting?
What do you mean by interesting? All of it was interesting.
What's the thing that you're going to be thinking about most when we're done end of this session?
Your openness, that you were willing to sit here and just expose yourself to potentially really uncomfortable conversation.
You were very open.
But to the nature of your question, definitely your perspective of your brothers.
Yeah.
I appreciate that you see them, that you take the time to see them. And it's really interesting hearing you walk through where you're at in your head. Because I don't know, you're gone all the time. I never see you. And I'm just letting that be because I'm also learning to just be a human here.
Yeah.
and you've seen that process. But
Yeah, I've seen you change a lot
I've seen,
many times.
yeah, and you're just freaking along for the ride, just
wrong with
stepping
it?
right into it, and I've just seen you become more and more and more present, in line with me letting go of trying to force you to be present, because I was actually trying to force myself to be present. I was trying to figure out how to be present myself, and so I thought I had to force. No, the thankful moment's important, but just the way I went
love the
about doing
thankful
everything.
moments.
Like, it's so important for me to try to foster an environment that brings everyone together, because that's not.
That's very important. I know.
Anyway,
Anyways, that's not important.
what was I saying before you freaking sidetracked me?
Jesus Christ.
I know I get a taste of my own medicine. It's great.
I don't remember.
No one remembers. It wasn't probably not important.
Well, nothing's important because it's all just whatever
It's just
you're
smoke.
talking about for you.
It's just smoke.
One thing that I was thinking about earlier, though, did I really lose that train of thought too? I'm just losing all the trains of thought.
No, you didn't. What were you thinking about?
It's right there.
Is it the death thing? Because that's probably the most interesting thing that I thought I was talking about today.
I really like to talk about death. Death is a very intriguing thing to me, but I also have to choose between pursuing the metaphysical in these conversations and pursuing the emotional snapshot that only you can give. I get to talk about the death all the time. Yeah, whatever. I guess it wasn't important, but
It probably was. We just forgot. That's very human. World's not going to end.
it isn't.
Not right now, anyway.
Well, guys, thank you so much for dragging me out here into this cold place where freezing my feet off.
Yeah, you freaking need to put socks on if you don't feel well.
I have needed to, but
Silly.
I'm just
Silly boy.
I'm a silly little dude.
If you were to die
Yeah.
today,
Okay.
right now,
Okay.
and you had the opportunity to say one last thing, and you know how people remember last words and the impression it makes, it just held a different weight than any other word you've said if it's recorded. What would you say?
I would say, have love for all things, because all things deserve love.
Okay. So you're out there on a dirt bike, cruising the mountain, and you go ripping around a corner and catch some loose rocks, and you slide out over the edge of a cliff. Your GoPro on your helmet is live streaming. Okay, that's the first thing you do.
Fuck!
That's the next thing you do. But now DMT kicks into your system
What?
because that's what happens in a near-death experience.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know
Your
that.
system gets flooded with DMT. That's where you can experience your whole life flash before your eyes.
Yeah.
And so the
Holy
DMT kicks in,
cow.
and what the first thing it does is it slows time down. You're like in this frozen moment where you're kind of replaying your life, and you're going to say,
Have love for all things.
have love for all things. Okay.
I would, yeah.
Okay.
What's more important?
Then
I guess
love?
if we're all just neurotransmitters and like whatever, then nothing is important. Have love for everything, because why wouldn't you? I know that's simple, and a lot of people have said that, but it's fucking important.
How do you feel like having love for everything improves people's lives?
When you love, you're more present. When you love, more people love you. When you love, you're more grateful. When you love, you grow. When you love your plants, they grow.
Mm.
When you love your children, they become amazing.
Hmm.
When you love your wife, you grow a deep, deep bond with her that produces so much dopamine and serotonin throughout your life. It's like, what could possibly be better than loving everything around you? Love war. Love the connection that conflict brings. Love learning. Love simplicity. Love complex. Love yourself. Really, definitely love yourself. Love what you do. Because when you love what you do, when you choose to hate what you do, it fucking sucks. When you choose to love what you do, it's great. And when you love pain, then it's easier to get through. And you're able to see why it's there.
Those are challenging words.
Are they?
I would say most people probably don't know how to love pain, or maybe wouldn't even be able to understand what you mean by that.
Okay. I hate pain, right? I don't enjoy pain, but I do love it. I love that that our bodies have created such a fine system for us to keep living, that we have something that tells us, hey, this isn't right. You need to stop.
Oh, this all comes back to that same realization around derealization.
In my system, everything's rooted around derealization.
Yeah.
It has to be. I can't have it any other way because that's all I know.
It's not, you're not saying love the pain itself.
No,
you're saying love all of the aspects that make life work together, including this one we're looking at right here, which happens to be pain maybe, or joy, or...
Love Mary.
I do love Mary.
Love differences. That's important also. But I feel like people are starting to finally get that.
You do?
People are starting to realize that we don't love differences and we need to.
It's interesting that you're like, people are starting to recognize that we don't love differences. That makes me feel like get ready to at least to love differences.
Because like it's a pattern. Like every single time that people recognize something, it's always
change happens.
It's always changed.
Beautiful. And it takes the Mavericks who are willing to do the thing that no one else would dream of doing or be brave enough to do to make that change happen, to catalyze that one little spark.
The lion.
The otter that catalyzes the change.
This is why I'm here, is to talk really deep and then also manipulate you guys. Anyways.
Yes. Do you feel like you've been successful in manipulating?
No, yeah, I feel like you guys totally think I'm smart.
You also think you're smart.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. Okay. And for anyone out there that is going to be like, well, actually, I love Hitler. You should not love Hitler because Hitler's fucking dead and he's the ground. And you should love the ground. And the ground's great. I love the ground. I love that I'm able to walk on the ground. But the reason that Hitler did so many bad things is because he didn't have that love. If someone did love Hitler, if Hitler wasn't abused as a child, if Hitler's dad loved him, then yes,
Hitler's
we all should have
dad
loved
wasn't
Hitler.
also his grandfather.
What?
Hitler's parents were incestuous.
That's so fucking horrible.
I did not know that.
Oh my God.
I'm pretty sure his
Do
dad
not love
was,
incest.
I'm pretty sure his dad was his grandfather because
saying-
that's why his mom was abusive to him.
Incest is the only thing you should not love.
She blamed Hitler for... I'm really fucking this up, but it's true.
Well, it's already fucked up, so you can't make it worse.
I'll have to Google it later.
Interesting.
Don't love Hitler, obviously, because he was bad, and don't like be a Nazi, but
isn't he part of all of the workings of all of this?
Hitler was not a nice guy.
But he was part of all of what is.
Everything has
Part
been.
of the tapestry.
Yeah.
And
He was
as
necessary,
that part,
I guess.
he is lovable as that part.
When looking back onto our history, you'll be like, still no.
No.
All right, anyways.
I'm really
done-
trying
done with
hard
that.
to bring that one together. but-
Me too, but no, I think I'm
Okay.
done with that one.
So love almost all things. Got it. Okay.
Almost all things.
Thank you. Thank you for your honesty. Thank you for your bravery.
Do I get a medal or what's...
You can have all the metal you want. There's probably plenty in the yard on the way back to the house. Thank you, Angela, for letting us use your fantastic massage studio for this recording, which this is the first one. A lot of firsts here. First time recording in at least kind of a studio.
Yeah, everyone, I'm introducing Mary.
My name is Trisha. I way super appreciate you being willing to do this, and I appreciate, like your dad was saying, your openness.
Thank you. I'm glad that I did do this. I think it was really fun.
Good.
It's rare to meet a kid your age that is as comfortable in their own skin as you are in yours.
Thank you.
Thank you for
existing.
Thank you for existing.
Thank you, Dad.
Mary.
Thanks for having me. I'm stoked to be here.
And thanks for having me.
Yeah.
We're all great.
This was fun.